Hello, my name is Abby Clanton, and today I will be describing my idea project design pitch. So, just an overview of this project and what is being asked of us today. Um, we are asked to create an experience that makes attendees of your experience feel something or change their point of view or their thoughts on a certain topic. So, my topic that I chose is kind of something I'm passionate about. My whole life, I grew up and I was surrounded by technology. In middle school, all of my friends had cell phones, and I was so jealous because my parents wouldn't let me have one no matter how much I begged. They were, I think, worried about me spending too much time on it and texting my friends and taking selfies using the duck face and just things that all middle school girls were doing at the time that they didn't want me doing. Looking back now, I completely know and understand why they kept me from getting my first phone until I was in high school. They wanted me to just live a real life as a real kid, live in the moment and be present and be creative and just have fun and not worry about, what my friends were doing 24/7. And I'm, glad that I wasn't exposed to a cell phone at such an early age because I honestly don't think it was necessary. It was just something I wanted to honestly feel cool and just try to fit in with my friends. Even though I didn't have a phone until high school, I can remember in my life that there wasn't a time um, in my life without the buzz of technology always being in the background. Nowadays, our lives are put together by technology. We live, you know, our lives day to day counting on at least one piece of technology to help us do something we want to do. And everyone uses technology nowadays, even if they like it or not. So it's just overall a huge part of our lives here in 2019. So nowadays, like I said, our lives are put together by technology. Robots vacuum our homes. We ask Siri to give us directions, and cars can now drive themselves, which is honestly still mind blowing to me. But it's happening, and there's probably more on the way that's going to be mind blowing to all of us. This is all great to have and can really make our lives easier when we can just ask Siri any question imaginable. But in this day and age, with the world at our fingertips, we have lost the ability to communicate in person. People don't like talking to other people in person. If they're in a conversation or if they're in a situation they feel awkward, they, immediately turn to their cell phone to relieve the awkwardness of a situation instead of pushing through that and getting to know someone a little bit better. Um, we turn to our phone because we feel socially awkward, and our phone is a way to, kind of escape that. People, get a missed call from someone and they text them, say, hey, you called, instead of just calling them back. It's little things like that, aren't necessarily how a human being should be acting. Back in the old days, if you wanted to see someone, you had to call them and, arrange actual times to go see that person. Um, and, technology can be very beneficial. It also has numerous downfalls that go hand in hand as well. We find our lives consumed by technology, and this is, where a lot of our downfalls of technology come into play. First of all, probably the most noticeable of the downfalls is poor social skills. Business meetings are held over Skype, and kids chat in Facebook Messenger rather than going outside, exploring in the woods, playing, laser tag in the yard at night like I used to do. Um, these strong social bonds that are essential for us humans to have are replaced with a number of shallow friends, and I'm doing air quotes on friends, on social networks. Another huge issue with technology that has been brought to the attention of others is education issues. The internet has become a great tool for learning, but also often leads to, increased amounts of cheating on homework or tests, and also plagiarism as well. The third major issue is health issues. We've all heard all the health issues associated with technology being absorbed by a laptop or TV. People tend to snack more, stay up later, and exercise less. So that what goes hand in hand with that is poor circulation in the body and neck, head, and eye pain, and also a curved backbone and bad posture, which we all, I think, suffer from nowadays. Another one is poor privacy and security. So 1 in 3 teens have reported being cyberbullied over text or social media, which is, a huge statistic that I feel is super important. But not only that, borders of privacy have vanished. Anyone can, search someone's name on Facebook and they get their name, last name, date of birth, where they live, who their friends are, an extent of information that isn't always necessary and can sometimes be, used in a negative way or used against you. And another super important negative effect from technology is mental health issues. Decline quantity and quality of sleep is huge on this one. Kids and teenagers and adults stay up late on their phones. That blue light is coming in through their eyes, which is inhibiting, poor sleep. And it's been proven by scientists that the blue light from your electronics is preventing you from falling asleep at night. They say you're supposed to put your phone away or shut the TV off or get rid of your laptop 2 hours before you plan on going to bed, which probably doesn't happen for most of us. We usually sleep with our phone right next to us or underneath our pillow charging. But people have become addicted to technology and chronic smartphone stress, which is caused by not getting notifications. So this makes people sad and stressed. So they're diagnosing these problems. Chronic smartphone stress. This is what we as a society have to live with and have to, teach our kids about, because technology is such a huge part in our lives now that we can't see it disappearing anytime soon whatsoever. It's just going to keep growing, keep increasing. And we need to be aware of obviously the positive effects of technology, which there are, a good handful, but also the negative effects as well. Now, in this traveling exhibit space, attendees will be able to interact with and learn about current technology, to get them intrigued, bring them in the space, because everyone in this day and age loves to interact with new technology, learn more about it, see what it could do for them in their lives. And I feel like this would be a good way to attract people to the space. And I also don't want it to be, all doom and gloom about, oh, technology is so bad for you, you need to cut it out of your lives ASAP, because that's not what I want this space to be. I want this space to be, you know, still focused on how you can improve your life and, you know, just make people aware of the side effects of technology, but I still want people to be able to interact with it because, you know, you're going to have both positive and negative effects. So I think that needs to be shown in this exhibit as well. So I think that, you know, the first level of this interactive experience will be current technologies in our day. So to go along with that, I will relate this part, you know, the technology experience that they will go through. I'll relate that to the Eames exhibit from the World's Fair in 1964, which is they showcased a lot of new technology in that space in that show in 1964. So I want to do kind of the same thing because I feel like that'll intrigue people and get them in the space. And then will come the second part of the exhibit. So I envision this exhibit to travel to larger sized universities around the US for a span of 6 to 8 months. I see this space being fairly large, about a 50 by 50 or so, and it would be an outside unit. It wouldn't be like inside the university at all. That could be closed up at night. So my vision for, you know, the technology part of the space, this is going to be the first space that the attendee sees when they enter. So I want it to be inviting. I want it to look somewhat like an Apple store, which people love to go inside. I want it to be clean and inviting and minimal. It'll be focused on the technology that's inside of it. So, you know, not much else going on inside the space. And then for the second part of the experience, this is where we'll kind of focus less on, you know, how cool technology is and more on, you know, the negative side effects of technology. So I want this space to still be inviting, relaxing, and focused, but also minimal and cozy. And I want it to feel like a space where people feel comfortable in. I want them to feel like, you know, they can kind of relax and learn in this space. And this space is going to help educate attendees of the impacts of social media and technology, and really give an insight of ways to avoid these negative effects. So I want this experience to really show how enslaved we are as a society to our technology and open eyes of the attendees. So I want this experience to sort of be, you know, something that might make them a little bit uncomfortable, maybe like a seminar with a super talented speaker who knows all about, you know, the negative side effects of technology. I want people to learn, and I want people to, like I said, maybe feel uncomfortable, like maybe be prompted to, you know, put their phones in a bucket for 25 to 30 minutes while they learn. And, you know, they'll still be able to see where their phones are, but they won't have them in their hands. And that, you know, would probably make a majority of people feel uncomfortable because we're usually so used to having our electronics, you know, near us, and we know where they are at all times, and we're usually having it touch some part of our body, like in our pocket or usually in our hand or on our ear or whatever. But I want this to be something that really opens people's eyes to the side effects of technology, because I really feel like people don't really realize how bad it can be and how detrimental it can be. I'm still working on the experience area for this second part of the exhibit, but So, like I said, I'm still working on the ideation, but I have a good direction of where I want this space to go and what I want happening inside of it. So I'm excited to keep working on this and coming up with some awesome new ideas. So that wraps up my presentation. Thanks for listening, and I will update you soon.